6:30, call this meeting to order. The agenda as written, the amended agenda that was sent out yesterday, 2 days ago? This morning?
Yesterday.
I don't know.
No, maybe it was yesterday.
Is there any additions or deletions to that agenda?
Can we remove the clerk's report?
Mm-hmm.
And move E1 to future agenda items instead of tonight?
Yep. Anything else we need to move or change?
71.
Yeah.
Want to move it to when?
Just for future agenda items, not tonight. We just don't have enough.
Okay.
With everything that's been
Yeah.
going on and stuff, we don't have enough info.
Any other changes? Need a motion to approve the amended agenda?
Do I need it? I guess I move to
Don't care.
approve the amended agenda.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Moving on to consent items. Anything we need to worry about there, or do we have a motion to approve the consent items?
I move to approve the consent items.
Second. Got it.
Second.
Any discussion on those? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Now is our time for public comments on non-agenda items. If anyone from the public would like to speak for 5 minutes, they are welcome to do that now.
I had one item that was brought up at a Safe Kids Coalition meeting today.
Okay.
The Safe Kids Coalition is a coalition that works on car seat safety, pedestrian safety, drug and endangered children, and there was some issues they thought about Main Street, and I know Bob knows about this with the just kids going across without looking, people not slowing down. But we're wondering if the stripes could be painted again.
They get painted twice a year or once a year at least, so that I won't be able to paint them again until the weather turns out. We're done with snow.
Yeah, well, it was just a question they asked because they said they're very hard to see right now.
So
And
by state statute, crosswalk on the street itself is not required as long as there's signage. So I had this discussion with Officer Torres this afternoon also. But they will get painted, but there's nothing I can paint until after the weather straightens out.
Okay. I know the Sheriff's Department is looking into some other things for pedestrian safety throughout the county, not just here. But just the way the crosswalk is there, it's hard for people to see because of the parking, because of the building, not really. They were just wondering about that.
Absolutely. I think we will take care of that as soon as the weather allows. So, great. Thank you. Anything else? Okay. Anybody else from the public? Okay. We'll move on. I did want to move E2 up to before new business just because we've dealt with it and I don't really think there's a big issue here. So that would be the only change I would have there. So we'll bring up we've had an issue in the past with waste management and the property at 14399 Flush Road. They are not willing to change their policy on how they pick up trash. Scott and I have talked a couple different times about this, and my preference would be is to give a temporary exemption to our ordinance that we are still need to get around to going through, but give a temporary exemption to Scott at that address to come up with his own trash service and not charge him a trash bill like the ordinance states. So we would need a a motion to approve a temporary exemption from that ordinance, because our trash service at this point in time is not meeting the needs of our residents.
So they won't go in the driveway, they won't drive in the driveway.
They will not go in the driveway. He has been told that he needs to put the trash can basically on the edge of Flush Road, and we all know with the winds and everything else that happened here, it's only a matter of time before we have a trash can or two sitting in the middle of Flush Road as they come into town. So until we can get I don't really want to do a complete exemption personally, but it's up to you guys. But I think a temporary exemption until we can find a trash service that can handle all of our residents in a timely manner and on a normal basis. I think that's granted, but that's.
Are there any other residents out there that would also house? Are they
They're not
considered city
They're
limits?
not in city limits.
They're not outside.
No.
So there's
Probably
no-
got some out on the highway, but they got a shoulder out there, so.
Yeah, and we haven't had any complaints or issues or problems. Scott has done everything that he's done over the last, 20 years at least.
For what?
For your trash service.
Yeah.
Same situation you've had for,
Never was an issue until this.
correct?
If I may speak,
Absolutely.
this is not because I don't like waste management, even though I don't like waste management. It's not because I don't like it. It is strictly a safety issue. The other day, the mayor happened to pull in as I was grabbing the can, which they did not pick up my trash that day. And I was grabbing it to take it back up so I could throw it in my truck, take it to work. The thing is that if you're coming off of Pine Street looking west, if that can is sitting out any further, then it becomes a visual hazard. If it's any closer to the road, it's speed traffic and then no shoulders on that road, it is a traffic hazard. So that's why I want to be exempted from the ordinance for the time period that Waste Management has a contract. Once they no longer have a contract, I'll be more than happy to go back to whatever trash service and hopefully they'll pick up my trash.
Do we owe you any refund for any of this trash?
I don't know. That adjustment can be made. They missed me, or they declined to pick me up 3 times. I thought we had it worked out because they picked me up 2 weeks in a row. First time they picked me up, they put the can right back where I said it. I didn't think they even got it. Went and grabbed it. Presumed, wow, okay. Next time they picked it up and they threw the can on the edge of the road. And I had to stop my vehicle, get out, move the can so I could pull up my driveway. And then, and then the next week they didn't pick it up, which was last week, and I didn't even put it out today.
And I believe I made the executive decision that we did not, there's at least 2 months that we did not charge you for trash service.
That's been taken care of.
Yes.
All right.
As much as I knew. I was going off emails, those sort of things. So.
And tried to contact Waste Management too. It's
And
not
they've
just-
had conversations back and forth. I've read the emails. The Waste Management is not interested in, unless he puts it out on the actual road, which causes a safety concern, they will not pick up his trash. So, if you guys are okay with it, that's what I would recommend, but
That was just
up to you.
written up.
It basically would be just a temporary exemption until the next trash service is decided.
Sounds good to me.
Just need
I'll make a motion to give them a temporary written up as such.
Second.
any further discussion on that matter. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There you go.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Thank
you.
Yep. I guess I'll go.
You can go. That's why I wanted to get you
I appreciate
done and taken care of, because I thought it'd be pretty easy, so. We'll go back to new business, D1 appointments. If you have the agenda in front of you, which you could if it was on the table, did you put those out?
They're over there.
Okay. So there's a bunch of appointments on here. I went through those. Other than planning and zoning commission members. So D1 to D11, I would like to appoint those for city business. Need a motion to approve those, and then we will get to D1 12.
Can I ask a question on that? Or
Absolutely.
Okay.
Would you
Sorry. Would there be any consideration for the local newspaper to be the official paper of the minutes? Or is there, and if there's rationale?
I think per statute it has to, I don't know about city. I know like county-wise it has to hit like every resident in the county. I would have to look at the city one.
State statute requires.
Is it
Yeah,
state?
it's-
Okay.
I believe so, yeah.
I think that's right. I think it's per statute that we have to do one that hits, but I don't think we're against sending it to them also.
Do you mean like would have the option to have that delivered to their home? Is that what you mean? Like it would hit everybody?
No,
It
this would,
circulates in the entire county.
well, and this would be our official notifications that we have to post.
Uh-huh.
Would have to go to a newspaper that is countywide. And right now, the Western Reporter is not countywide,
Okay.
so we can't technically use those because of that fact.
Okay.
So that's really the only reason. Otherwise, I would love to use the Western Reporter. So,
Thank you.
yep.
I think we do send them the minutes once they're
I think she's
approved.
hit and miss on it. Like I've seen it sometimes, but then like not.
When we can get with them and make it happen also. So
Yeah, we don't. This is not really for
minutes.
the minutes and all that. This is for our legal notifications.
Yeah.
Out for anything else, it has to go to a countywide situation. So that's our only problem there.
Do the legals well on the website also?
I believe so, but I don't know that for a fact.
I mean, our website, so anybody can get to our website, so I think as much stuff that we can put on there
It's
would be
pretty.
beneficial.
It might need an overhaul. Like
That's a Julie
It
question.
may be a couple months.
Yeah.
It'll be a couple months.
If you guys can bear with us for
Yeah,
a couple
yeah.
months, we can work on getting that together.
Can you put a note down to when she gets back and you guys get back to normal, that we question that we are putting it on our Facebook page or our Facebook and website.
And this is the minutes?
I think more the legal,
Pretty much anything.
anything.
yeah, I was just curious.
Absolutely. So I have appointments out there for D11 to D111. Just need a motion to approve my appointments.
I move to approve the appointments that you mentioned.
Right?
Second.
Any discussion on that? All in favor? Opposed? Those are done. D112 with the planning and zoning commission members. Michelle, I'm gonna have to pull you in because I seem to have lost your email. So
Yes, so, basically, since I'm on the planning commission as the liaison, and so I went about contacting residents here in the city that would be interested in sitting on the planning commission, and that was a little more challenging than I thought it would be, because there were a lot of people that, for whatever reason, lack of time, different various reasons that declined to serve. But I was able to find 5 people, and you want me to name those 5 people? I've got Leslie Campbell, Tabitha Codhill, Angela Coleman, Nicholas Cooper, and then Tanya Purvis agreed to stay on for the continuity of the planning commission. So there would be someone that has some experience to carry and assist with the new appointments if they are approved. I spoke to each of these folks several times, and I do appreciate Leslie is here. Some of the other candidates or nominees asked if they were required to be here. I said they were not, but they were more than welcome, but they had some conflicts and couldn't make it tonight. But I see that Leslie is here, so I appreciate that. So.
Perfect. So I had seen these previously and I finally found it in my email, so that's good. I believe you all got this list. Does anybody have any problems with that appointment of those commission members?
Oh, I'm glad they're trying.
Glad they stepped forward.
Yes.
And I will officially make my appointment to those 5 members for D112 Planning and Zoning Commission members. Just need a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve D112.
Second.
Any discussion? You can go whenever
I'm
you
just
want.
gonna hear from.
Do what you gotta do. Any discussion, was there? None? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Awesome. Let's move on to D2, opening bids for cleaning city buildings. There are none, so we need to, I've been told by our previous cleaners that they are no longer ready to do that process. So feel like we need to put it out for another bid, something, but we're gonna have to do something on a pretty fast scale. Otherwise, we're gonna have some buildings that, and some properties that one of you 5 city council members are gonna have to go clean. So, you tell me what you wanna do.
So no bids.
0 bids.
When we put it out to bid, do we just post it or do we go and contact various cleaning properties and say, hey, we're putting this out to bid?
Typically, it'll go just to the paper. If we contact people personally, that can cause issues because we may not contact one person and they could be upset and that could cause issues. So I try not to do that.
And what paper do we put it in?
The Times.
The
Times is our
Okay,
official
so we're
paper.
completely reliant on somebody seeing it.
Yes.
We're
And I believe it got
on the website.
put on our website.
Which that requires someone to go to the website and see
Right.
it.
It's,
It's
there's,
on
Facebook,
Facebook
too.
too. Oh, we did.
yeah, there's no, like, that I know of, there's no issue with a council member going to a company and saying, hey, this bid is open, would you like to bid?
Is there anything against us putting it on Facebook, like on
I think we did.
We did.
the buy, sell out of Manhattan?
Oh, I don't know that we
Because
did
that's
that.
where people look for jobs.
Or this,
Oh, there's thousands.
Several of them, yeah.
LinkedIn or is it, what's another one? There's,
ZipRecruiter.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
think you'd be looking for something like that on there.
Yeah.
But we need to figure something out, because we do not have a cleaner as of this time. 2 bids, 0 bids. So that is something that I would put on the 5 of you, and I will do my best as well, that we need to find something, someone, somehow, some way to make that happen without spending thousands of dollars. So we need to probably put that on new business for next month, and hopefully we can get enough conversations out there that we can get somewhere with that. So
Does the bid have an end date, or is it still open?
It did.
It did. It was close to that.
So
we
actually,
need to go back
technically,
for
we need,
reading.
I would suggest us to kind of,
legally, we need to
there's a
open.
gray area there, but we state statute requires to run it twice before we pursue anything else beyond that. So if we run it twice, we've done everything we can do. And then there's some language in there that states that then after that, then you can go to pursue, just go to any company. Because
So we need to run it one more time.
Yeah, I would suggest we do it just to cover
That's
bases.
awesome.
That's what I would say
If
was
you want
run
a
it again.
motion to run it a second time.
Do that.
Motion.
I need a motion.
So I
I'll
think,
second. Okay.
any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Please do your due diligence to help us find somebody for that. D3, opening bids for asphalt patching repair bid. What do you got?
Bids on that. First bid is from Hall Brothers out of Marysville. Their price for asphalt patching for this year was $85,260.
That was Hall.
Hall Brothers.
Second one's from Bettis Asphalt. It is for $66,960. Third one's from Schilling Construction. It is for $95,436.
Would you guys like to see these before we say we start over there? While you guys are looking at that, let's move on to D4 and we'll come back to D3 once you guys have had a chance to look at that. Discussion on pool items needed done before opening date. Jesse Ashley.
Well.
Mike.
We're gonna need, we're gonna need water, but realistically, we'll probably need to start looking for manager and lifeguards, manager, assistant manager, lifeguards, so, probably get that advertised, put out there. I did talk to Tammy in Oldsburg and she's willing to train. I told her she could use our pool for it also, once we get dates closer. Yeah, once we are able to. The other things I figured we need to work on handbook, pricing, and pay maybe. The biggest thing is probably just getting the management positions started, so.
Yeah, it would not be a good thing for us to not be open once the pool is done, so definitely need to have that. I think that's the main concern personally, is making sure that when the pool is done, that we can actually open.
Yeah.
Because right now, we can't, so until we get a manager and some lifeguards, so.
We got this.
So we probably need a motion to put a advertisement in the paper and on Facebook and website and everywhere for lifeguards and a manager, pool manager.
I move that we put out advertisement for manager, assistant manager, and lifeguards for the 2026 pool season.
Any discussion on that? All in favor?
Hey, Bob, have you heard when the other crew's coming in yet?
They
Still,
They're still, they don't know.
seems there's been pretty much like one person up there who they can tear it off for them.
Just doing, just cleaning up, working on the floor of the building.
I'm gonna give her a minute to look over those, and then we'll jump back to D3.
Is this all we get from them? Like, you, okay.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
I was asking, is this all we get, like, do we get any information on what, like, supplies they use, or like the quality of their work and things like that?
No, we put out a bid for the scope of the package, and they are bidding on meeting what we put out for bid.
Okay,
So if we put out for a bid and we have details, they have to match those details. If we leave details out, it's on their side. I know all three companies, none of them are a question mark in my mind.
okay.
So
Because I don't know anything about this stuff, and so I just didn't know, like, if you're able to look at.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
We've
I think
used
we
them
could,
all,
I
okay.
think,
Or it's much
the
different
county
than
has
asphalt.
too.
It's
Yeah.
pretty much the same.
Yeah,
We use the standard form because anything above and beyond that, we would have to bring an engineer in to design the project on every, and that's just taking money away from what's not necessary.
right. So I will go back to D3 for asphalt patching repair. Everybody's seen the bids. I need a motion to accept one or start over.
Make a motion to accept Bettis' low bid of $66,960.
Second.
Any discussion on that? All in favor? Opposed? D5, abandoned property at 205 Fulton. I believe, Bob, I'll let you kind of explain this one a little bit more.
So this is a unsafe, dangerous structure by ordinance. I put a report together, present it to the council, present it to the mayor. If the council agrees with this report, then you guys would vote to have Summer draft a resolution that she would have ready by next month. You guys would pass that resolution, and that resolution would get printed in the newspaper for 2 consecutive weeks. And then after that, a meeting would be set 30 days beyond the last printing of that, to have a hearing with the owner of the property to discuss the property with him, and then from there, depending on what comes out of that hearing, you guys would decide whether to take over and tear down the building or enter an agreement with him to tear down the building or fix it or do whatever he wants to do with it, but take care of the problem.
So the property owner does get a voice in the matter, correct?
Yep.
And I'm assuming you've had multiple conversations?
Yes.
Okay.
I thought it was a property we were discussing before the tornado, but it's not, that was a different property. I thought it was that one.
I don't know which one you're thinking of.
Well, I looked back at our minutes before I think it was March before the tornado.
That house got taken, that was taken.
Okay, it was a different address.
But it wasn't full, I think it was a full address.
It was.
So, basically, we need to have a motion to move on with this, or move away from it, however you guys want to do it. I'm just here to bring the info.
I make a motion, we start the process of getting something done with that. Doors and windows are all open, trucks go in there and play, and there's some nice houses that just rebuilt around there, so.
We have a motion and a second. Does anybody want to discuss anything more with this property? All in favor? Opposed? Start process. Alright, we'll move on to E1 got moved on. E2 we've already discussed. Is there any other future agenda items you guys want to put on for the next month or two?
Probably need to put the ordinance 338 on there. If we need to go over it, or
Which one was that?
that's the one we just did the temporary measure.
Oh,
You just said we need to
yes.
review it somewhere along the
Yes,
way,
we
so.
talked about that, yes, sorry.
And then obviously the rebid, but that'll be,
Well, that,
that's all
yeah,
right,
you
sorry.
already made a motion on that, so.
And then, I don't know about next month, but maybe the month after putting back, we can put the property back on. The Ball Diamond property was,
2 months away.
yeah, that way that gives planning and zoning time. I don't think we can do anything with it until it's split anyways, so then we can discuss it, what we wanna do future-wise. Well, that's what I'm saying, there's no point in discussing it until that's taken care of, and then once that's taken care of, we can figure out what we wanna do, so maybe April.
Perfect. You got that on there? I think Julie's first meeting back.
Ashley, can you say that one more time? Sorry, I couldn't hear. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, so with that property behind the softball diamond, we had already done the survey to split it, so it was the single and then the ball diamond basically, so it was still there, so, but planning and zoning wouldn't look at it and wouldn't do anything, so until that is split, we can't really discuss to move forward with it at all. What potential we might do, like,
Okay,
does that make sense?
yeah, so you're talking about like postponing the discussion on it
Yes.
then to, okay, sorry.
Probably
I
till
was like,
April, yeah, so probably April realistically, because that gives planning and zoning time to look at it, and then to do everything that needs to happen with the like lot split, and then we can discuss if we want to move forward with doing anything or keep it or whatever. So, but we can't really discuss anything tonight because we can't do anything with it, so.
so what's the purpose of planning and zoning? Like, what is it that they're like trying to?
So because we had the survey to have the lot split into two, so it's two pieces then instead of just the one piece. That way we can move forward with that one piece, because we're not obviously going to, as a city, we're not going to do anything with the ball diamond. That's to get rid of it. So we split it from that portion to like just that portion that was back there.
So would that restructure the labeling of that property as no longer recreational?
Probably not right away. I think that's a whole.
It's zone residential.
But that's not, no, well, the way in which I'm like, I mean, if we're gonna be blunt here, like, I'm curious if part of the planning and zoning process is restructuring that to where you have the part that was at the ball diamonds, and then the separate one is no longer listed as like a recreational property, which would make it to where like, it couldn't, the city, or like the city members couldn't vote to say, hey, no, this is a recreational property, we would like this to not be sold. Like, whereas as it sits right now, it's listed as a recreational property, so we have that option as city members.
I don't
and
think
so
we were
that's
rezoning it. I think it was just lot splitting it.
The planning and zoning can only vote to do the lot split. They don't have any.
Okay, I'm just clarifying because I'd rather be blunt right
You
now
don't-
than like.
I would prefer that anyway.
You know, like,
so.
just,
The city doesn't have any assignment whether it's recreational or not. It's either residential, commercial, or zoning. We don't have any recreational description for any of the properties. So it's classified. It's in the residential unit of the town. So that's all it's classified under.
okay, what I'm probably referencing is like when you look at like the plot fleet on the parcel search, it states that it's like a recreational complex, and so like.
That's a county that's a county thing. That's
Okay,
not a
so
city
would that change with the splitting and rezoning of that?
thing. No, not unless we, the county come out and did their thing, and so the city decided to put a house in there, and the county come out, and then that would obviously change it. But
Okay.
us lot splitting it
You
would
say
not
the
change
county's
it.
got a zone as recreational? I didn't think that was a zone.
I'm
That's
not,
how
like, I'm saying, I'm not going to pretend as if I'm like zoning and committee, you know, like, I'm just saying that when you like hover on it, it's listed as a recreational, like, plot. So I was just curious if like the zoning committee, if that was changing that, because like, per like state statute, when you sell any like city park or recreational thing, like you have to, if it's, you know, if the city votes and says like, hey, we don't think we should sell this property after the fact that the city like tried to sell it, like that option would be gone. Does that make sense? Kind of.
I know what you're saying, but I don't, like I said, the lot split wouldn't, like, we can't rezone it. I think that's I do think that's a county.
Was it originally in the Legion's, whose name was it originally in? It wasn't originally in the city.
No, it was the Legion.
It was the Legion.
The city purchased it from the Legion.
So the Legion would have originally maybe had whatever the titling of the
That is a
complex
county
was.
thing, that's how they base their tax base off of, but they're basing it at a recreational base. So that's basing, even though we're tax exempt, that's how they're basing their taxes off. So it's their own distinction, not the city's.
Yeah, we can't call this a public park, we can't call it anything like that, because we don't have any ADA accessibility to that. So right now, it's a vacant property.
So last time when you guys tried to sell it, it wasn't yet split, and you could do that then. So what's changed? Like where now it has to be split, where it didn't before.
We learned,
Okay.
I have a question.
absolutely.
Is the planning and zoning commission member, is that something new?
No, it's been
It's
around,
always been
around for as long as I know.
Okay. And so are they involved with the, like that property at 205 Fulton? Are they involved with that at all? No.
Because it's not
So what
changing the zone.
What is their role in that committee?
They handle lot splits. They make decisions on lot splits. If you wanted to do a boundary line adjustment, you would go before them first, and they make the decisions on boundary line adjustments. And plat, if you're wanting to replat something or do a new plat, everything would go before them first, before it comes to the council, but they do make final decisions on lot splits and boundary line adjustments.
Yeah, the way our ordinances are, there's certain things that, and like we talked about last meeting, there's a lot of ordinances that we need to re-look at and redo because they've been around since the 70s and 80s, right? So there's a lot of things that we need to re-look at and make sure that they're applicable today. But there are certain things that the city can do without planning and zoning's approval, and there are certain things that we cannot do without planning and zoning's approval. So therefore, I've been on council for 10 years. There for at least 3 or 4 years, we didn't have a planning and zoning committee. So there were certain things we just couldn't do without completely redoing an ordinance and taking 4 to 5 or 6 months to go through it all and change everything. So that's why we try to keep our planning and zoning committee active and alive, so that there are things that we can do because of the way the ordinances are stated. And I've said it since I've been on, if we have an ordinance that states something, that's what we need to follow until that ordinance gets changed.
The thing
That's
about
our-
planning and zoning is it doesn't have the final word. We do. I mean, they can recommend something
Correct.
and say, this is what we,
But there are certain things that we
it
need.
still has to go through us. That's just like the county. They
Right.
got planning and zoning, but what they decide on still has to go through the board.
There's certain things that we need their recommendation to move it along the path. That's why we have them. So,
Do they also look at water, flood, plain? I mean, I know our county and zoning does, so I
So
just
in
want.
our ordinance, there's a list of things that that the committee members have to look at per the ordinance to come to make their decision. So that's built in, yes.
Yes, okay.
All right.
And just make point, I'm not gonna be here maybe.
Okay.
So, I will miss that meeting. Sorry.
Yeah, change your plans.
Sorry.
Keep moving on.
All right, anything else for future agenda items? We will move on to F1 Treasurer's Report. Anybody have anything for Amy, or do you have anything for us?
I have a couple of things, yes. One thing I wanted to point out in the treasurer's report that I was talking to Michelle about, so I can make it just really clear, like if you look at the budget summary and how this January compared to last, you'll notice a significant change. Obviously, last year at this time, we spent about 46,000. This year we're at 152,000. But, and I know, like Michelle was just asking about it, so the reason for that being was the equipment fund this year for Bob compared to not having it last year. So we bought all that equipment in January, and then once we sell stuff too on Purple Wave and stuff, some of that will be replenished too. So didn't want that to freak you out.
Excellent.
A couple things that may or may not have been in the clerk's report, I don't know, but just a thank you note from the Chamber of Commerce. If you guys want to take a look at that. Pass that around. For the sign, yep. Another thing we need to get an approval on or not is Bob's PTO. We've always, every year we have to, because he never gets time off, we have to approve the payout of that each year. So, on his PTO, so.
How much
You guys
do
wanna
you have
discuss?
after you donated?
I donated ESF and my emergency sick leave was going to donate, so.
Gotcha.
Like 480 hours a week, was it timed out? We should have close to that. You can't touch that. But then
Gotcha.
what we just did, or if I was off for 7 days,
Gotcha. So you need a motion for
To approve
approving payout on PTO.
UCSL.
So I need a motion to approve payout on Bob's PTO.
Also moved.
Perfect. Any discussion? Either Megan or Bessie. Both did. Any discussion on that? All in favor? Opposed?
And then the $80,000 CD, that was the money given to us for the pool use, that is up on March, I believe the 15th. Yep.
I checked the dates.
Okay, so after that, it locks in another 6 months, doesn't it? Is that how that works? Yeah, if we don't cash that out by then. So, and I'm going to be gone the 18th, 19th, and 20th, so I just want to make
There's a
sure.
10-day grace.
There is a 10-day grace? That's what I wanted to find out. Okay. So what is the process of having it?
So,
Do you want to cash, do you want to
that'd be the
cash it out,
question.
because we want to
Yep.
delete it?
Yep.
You just bring in your the original CD.
Okay.
And sign it, and we can have the
Just move that
funds
over.
moved
Okay.
over to whichever account.
To make it official, we probably get a recommendation
Let's
to cash out.
Also move to cash out the CD when it comes due. And move it over to the appropriate funds in the city for the pool.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed?
We did get some nice interest off of that too, so that's good. Yeah. Your bank cards, signature cards, once we approve the minutes for the last meeting, you'll get those, so just the process on that. Once we have those approved
Once the minutes are approved, yeah, I can just,
bring them over to you, or how does that work?
I've got them, I pulled them,
Okay, you pulled
so
them.
we'll
Perfect.
just.
Okay.
Adelaide, there was one that we need to remove Jenny. So, yeah, I think that's all we need to do.
Anything official we need to do, like, do I need to come sign something?
Yeah, everybody will have to re-sign.
Okay.
So, we'll probably just have them at the city, and then you guys can just sign them, and then.
It's fine, just let me know when they're there and
Okay.
I can swing by.
And then the last thing was approving the traveler's work comp, if you guys want to approve that, because questions were asked, K-Camp doesn't, I don't think anyone, yeah, K-Camp doesn't have workers' comp,
They're
but,
not the only ones that will.
yeah, so if you wanted to go ahead and renew that.
Sounds like travelers. I make a motion to approve the, whatever you just said. Workman's comp for travelers insurance.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I think that's all I have.
Sweet, you going up too? Bob, you're up.
Any questions on my report?
All the ones that you coated in brown, it says court that's coming up.
Yeah, and some of those have gotten crossed off since the fact. In the last 2 weeks, I've knocked quite a few of those off. They've taken care of it. But I've also added more also. Yeah, so it's kind of give and take. Yes. It is a little bit of a delay process between by the time I get in the summer and she sends them out. So
I'll say she had quite a caseload from what I
yeah, she's
understood from her. So.
yeah. There was quite a few. So
You swore in the touch yesterday, I should have said that
Um,
too.
yeah, I mean, that's fine, yeah. She did swear in our new judge that we decided on, excuse me, last meeting, so he is official now as of yesterday.
Sorry.
So pool wise, we're in the middle of a crew change out, so there's slower activity going on. They're still finishing up another job elsewhere, so it sounds like it might be a little bit before they get back. I talked to Jesse and Ashley about this. We did do a second change order to change out the chemical room doors to fiberglass doors that are corrosion resistant. If not, I don't know why this wasn't part of it, but if we did, we were going to be replacing those doors within a couple of years. So for $4,200 to replace those. Other than that, a new track skid loader has been delivered. Truck's supposed to be delivered tomorrow and or Monday. Everything's ready to go for Purple Wave. They've been contacted. Didn't know if you guys would be accepted to, as long as the Purple Wave turns out good, that we could use that money to go ahead and replace the excavator a year ahead of schedule.
I would say personally, let's see how Purple Wave goes. And then if it goes as well as we hope, then we can revisit that. Because that should all happen this month. So we can talk about that next month, no problem.
And that's all I have.
Excellent. Any questions for Bob? Clerk's report is gone this month. Streets, Bruce, you got anything for streets?
Bob gave me some prices on stuff with the crosswalks. I think I'll discuss those with him later.
Okay. Anything else you want to talk about? Utilities. Your first month, that's.
I don't think I have anything.
I'll say you don't.
But I do, Bob, I do want to thank you for keeping our roads cleared out for the snow. I don't know how many hours you were on, but that snow just kept coming. So.
He goes above and beyond because he scrapes that last little bit off so it'll melt faster. So.
Yeah.
All right, plan zoning. Anything new and exciting other
Just
than
other
the
than the
new committee?
members, and then what we'll do is we'll try and talk to all of them and figure out what is going to be the best day of the week of the month for them to meet. And and keep it consistent and everything, and kind of have a look at their bylaws and put it into the bylaws and get the bylaws and bring those to the council to approve.
Someone said she would have the bylaws ready for the council's approval next month.
Okay,
Sweet.
and maybe by then I can figure out what the best day of the week is for the members to meet.
Not
Because
Thursday.
I got a younger group and they have kids and they got ball games and, you know, and so, trying to figure out what is gonna be a good time for them to meet and try and get some things caught up, I think. I don't know what Bob has for them to take a look at.
There's a couple things, yeah.
That first meeting might be
Might be a doozy,
sorry.
but it gets way easier afterwards.
Yeah.
Get all that cleaned up and it gets easy.
Yeah.
So. Pool, cemetery, parks, Rice and Kincaid.
I had someone reach out to me that they were contacted by, I think it was the Realtors Association, and they do this Realtors Helping Neighbors. I think he said that they did Alma last year, and I think it's like a 5-day thing where they get volunteers and stuff, and there wasn't a whole lot of information on like funding and stuff, but he basically said if we could come up with some ideas that potentially that they could do, like we talked about maybe the gazebo at the pool, benches at the pool. I said maybe the tables down at the ball field since they're kind of falling apart. I just didn't know if you guys had any ideas, if it would be something, once we got a little more information, if it would be something you guys would be interested in. I mean, I think it's a community thing, obviously, and it would have to, I think it has to be on city property, so we're community members, like everybody is, can be a part of it.
Is that Flint Hills?
I'm not sure.
Is it like
Jeremy?
Is it
Jeremy's on.
Is it like a fundraiser?
I don't
type
think it's a
deal, or is
fundraiser. I
this-
think it's more like they have volunteers that come in and help and stuff, and then they try to include anybody in the community that wants to volunteer also.
So are they volunteering to rebuild or to, what are they volunteering to do?
Oh, it's Flint Hills.
Like
They
the
do clean
gazebo,
outs,
paint the
painting and
gazebo?
stuff.
I think they're talking about like building and stuff too, because they bring in like contractors is what I understood. So, I mean, those are the 3 things off the top of our head when we were discussing. I don't know if you guys can think of anything. I think the tables here, I think, are pretty good still.
And what's the name of this organization?
I think it was Realtors Helping Neighbors is what I got out of it.
It's
But
probably from Flint Hills Association of Realtors,
is that what it is?
probably.
Like, I think they said it was a national thing though too, maybe? And then
It
there's
could be.
like a,
It could be state, and I don't know,
Yeah.
but I know Flint Hills does
okay.
this every once in a while.
So, but they had reached out, I think because of everything else, like the Caring Community Foundation, I think is why they were reached out to. So, I said we would throw around some ideas, see if we can come up with anything else, and then get back with him, and then if it's something we want to do, we can move forward with talking about it.
Can't hurt to look into it more.
Yeah.
And
So,
they give her those ideas and get more information and
see what we can come up
There's
with.
no real money out of city's pocket. then
I think that was, yeah. So, I don't know what like I said, he wasn't sure on the funding, but it's just to start the
Find out details.
conversation, yeah.
Yeah. Let's
I
get
figured it
something
wouldn't
started.
hurt. Any benches, tables, anywhere would be beneficial to any of us, so.
Excellent. Anything else for? Okay. Flint Hills Regional Council?
Well, can't do anything because now they're meeting every other month, so
Oh.
they won't meet now until.
Is that permanent or
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna go bi-monthly?
Bi-monthly meetings.
Alright, well, I don't really have anything else that I can think of. I think we talked about everything that I had. Talked to Summer. She's got, several court cases to deal with. But didn't really have anything else to report, so does anybody else have a reason for an executive session? And then all I need is one more motion.
Motion to adjourn.
She remembers.
Second.
Second, any discussion on that? All in favor? Opposed? We are adjourned.
Thanks for dealing with the extra kids, everybody. I do appreciate that. It was a last minute thing, so